Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome N A Rossi.
Thank you, Geraldine, for that introduction. So I'm reading from the third book in the series, Rockaway, and in this you're going to meet a character called Portia. Portia works in the advertising agency that has come up with the campaign to promote the Rockstar Ending. And she's just got back to her flat. She's been to a political rally which has taken place at the O2, where she's met the leader of the political party, Authentic, who are driving a massive rift between the generations. And that's making Portia have second thoughts about working on the world's most persuasive euthanasia campaign aimed at old people. And I've put the sticker in the wrong place. Let's start again. There we are. Portia flicked on the screen in her tiny living room and perched on the edge of her cheap foam sofa. After the hubbub of the train, she felt lonely. She could have been at a club having free drinks and chatting to Sonny, but she'd stormed off and left him in preference for a night on her own in the world's smallest flat. What was wrong with her? All she'd wanted was a job that paid the rent. Brightly gave her that and more. They'd even pulled some strings to help her find this bijou place to live. Her bottle of champagne from the work summer party was still on the shelf under the TV, gathering dust, with a thank you card propped up against it. She'd wanted to give it to her mother, Karen. But they didn't see each other very often. The longer she was in this city, the more she missed her family's unconditional love. There was only one thing for it. Her mum was the sole person who might be able to lift her out of this pity party. "Hiya, kid," Karen said. "How you doing?" "Oh, okay. Where are you?" She could hear a low rhythmic clatter in the background. "I'm not bad, love. Sorry about the noise. I'm on the train." "What? Have you had a day out with the kids?" "I wish." "No. They've shut the arcade for a few weeks. Too many gambling addicts in the area. It's having a negative impact on the borough's position in the state happiness index table. Not that it was that good to begin with. Anyway, they've closed us down for a cooling off period while they work on getting the poor sods in check. Marcus has been allocated to an outreach programme, and I've been redeployed to an amusement arcade in Southport until we reopen." That's a long way to travel. She worried about her mum alone on that train at night. "It's only an hour. Manageable provided the Merseyrail keeps running. And so far so good. Bernie next door is helping out with the kids. Don't know what we'd do without her. Honest to God. Anyway, how's things with you?" "Same really. I thought about you tonight. I had to go to a work thing at the O2. Remember when you took me there to see Kylie? That was such a brilliant day out, Mum." "It was great fun. So who was on tonight then?" Nothing special. Just had to go to a client meeting." Sounds a much better job than doling out change for vintage penny arcades, which is what I've been doing all day. Was that boy there?" She'd told her mother about Sonny when she had come to stay 6 months previously. "Yeah." "How's that going?" "Oh, I really don't know how I feel about him. Sometimes I think it would be worth it. Other times he just drives me mad. A bit like the job, to be honest." The train went under a bridge, and the background noise surged for a few moments. Portia waited for her mum to get clear of the din. "I thought you were doing really well at work." "Yeah, we are. I mean, I am. It's just there are some things about what I have to do that I'm not sure about." "What sort of things? Like ethical things?" Her mother laughed softly. "Welcome to my world, love." "What do you mean?" Do you think I like working in an arcade? Some of the things I see, the problems, people making a right mess of their lives. It's shocking. Really brings you down sometimes. Portia knew Karen's employer had paid for private medical treatment for depression, but she'd assumed her problems were down to the pressures of being a mum trying to make ends meet, rather than her having existential doubts about working in the gambling industry. How could she not have realised? Does it bother you that much, Mum? Of course it does. Seeing misery every day and pretending it's all just a game. But there's nothing else for me around here. Even the care work's being done by robots now. What about your dressmaking? You could do that. It's fine for now, really. But that dress you made for me for the summer party, it was beautiful. So many people commented. It was only as beautiful as the young woman wearing it. Like I said, the arcade suits me for the time being. We just need to wait a few weeks for everything to get back to normal. How do you cope with it, Mum? I need the money. 3 little kids to support. I've tried going on benefits, but it's more depressing than working in winners, believe me. Portia was silent. She'd known her mum for a quarter of a century, and yet had not known her at all. Look, if you're feeling low, why don't you come home to Liverpool for a weekend? You could meet me in Southport on a day I'm off on an early shift. Bring the kids over. Make a day of it. I'd love to, but things are going mad in the office. I don't think I can take the time off. There's a massive launch coming up and I'm sure I'll end up working weekends again. How about if I come down there? It was a laugh last time, wasn't it? I don't even mind if you need to pop in the office. At least we could have dinner together. Maybe more if we're lucky. What do you think? Portia glanced at her shelf again. Next to the bottle of champagne was the little 3D printed statue from the Pete Burns Freak or Fashion Icon exhibition she had been to with Karen. I would love that. Okay, I'll work out some dates and send them over. That would be amazing. We had such a brilliant time. Good. I'll be down before Christmas. You hang on in there, pet. You're a clever girl, but you've got to understand. People like us, we just have to do what it takes to survive. I don't know what you're worried about. You've got a good life down there. Don't be too precious. Principles are all very well for those who can afford them. That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much.